Did Galileo really drop balls from the Leaning Tower of Pisa? It's one of the most iconic scenes in the history of science. Galileo Galilei, standing atop the Leaning Tower of Pisa, drops two balls of different weights. To everyone's shock, they hit the ground at the same time, overturning centuries of scientific thought. But did this legendary experiment ever really happen? And if not, what's the real story behind Galileo's groundbreaking discoveries? Let's find out. The Leaning Tower of Pisa, standing 185 feet tall, is the perfect backdrop for a tale of scientific rebellion. The image of Galileo defying the great Aristotle in such a dramatic way has captured imaginations for centuries. But while the story is thrilling, there's one small problem. There's no solid proof it actually happened. Instead, Galileo's true genius lies in his rigorous experiments and his ability to overturn long-held beliefs through meticulous observation and math. But where did this myth come from? And what does it say about how we view history and science? Let's unpack the myth, the man, and the incredible science that reshaped our understanding of the universe. For nearly 2 millennia, Aristotle's ideas about motion dominated Western thought. He claimed that heavier objects fall faster than lighter ones, a conclusion based purely on logic and observation, without experimentation. To Aristotle, this made sense. Drop a feather and a rock, and the rock clearly falls faster. Case closed, right? But Galileo saw things differently. He suspected that external factors, like air resistance, were interfering with the truth. This challenge to Aristotelian thought set the stage for a revolution in physics. So if Galileo didn't drop balls from the Leaning Tower, what did he do? He conducted experiments with inclined planes, essentially wooden ramps with grooves for rolling balls. By tilting the planes at different angles and using water clocks to measure time, Galileo could carefully study the acceleration of objects. Through these experiments, Galileo discovered that objects of different weights accelerate at the same rate when falling, as long as air resistance doesn't play a role. This was a direct contradiction to Aristotle's claim. Galileo's method wasn't about drama. It was about precision. He wasn't content to say this seems right. He wanted to measure, test, and prove it mathematically. The dramatic image of Galileo dropping balls from the Leaning Tower first appeared in a biography written by his student Vincenzo Viviani, decades after Galileo's death. Viviani was a devoted admirer, and it's likely he created the story to emphasize Galileo's defiance of authority and his revolutionary spirit. While the story may be fictional, it captures the essence of Galileo's work, challenging old ideas through experimentation and observation. Galileo's insights were validated centuries later in one of the most iconic moments in space exploration. During the Apollo 15 mission in 1971, astronaut David Scott recreated Galileo's experiment on the moon. Without air resistance, a hammer and a feather dropped at the same time hit the lunar surface simultaneously. This experiment wasn't just a nod to Galileo, it was a testament to how far his ideas had carried humanity, from the Leaning Tower to the surface of another world. The Leaning Tower story endures because it's a perfect narrative, a lone scientist boldly defying centuries of tradition in a single dramatic act. But the reality of Galileo's work is even more impressive. His careful experiments and mathematical proofs laid the foundation for modern physics, showing that the laws of motion are universal and can be tested, measured, and understood. But here's the real question. Do myths like this help or hurt our understanding of history? Does the Leaning Tower story inspire curiosity, or does it distract from the deeper brilliance of Galileo's methods? Galileo's discovery that all objects fall at the same rate in the absence of air resistance paved the way for Isaac Newton's laws of motion and our modern understanding of gravity. He didn't just topple Aristotle's physics, he redefined how science is done, emphasizing experimentation over speculation. This shift, from philosophy to evidence-based science, marked the dawn of the scientific revolution. So, did Galileo drop balls from the Leaning Tower of Pisa? Probably not, but that doesn't matter. What matters is his relentless pursuit of truth, his dedication to testing ideas, and his refusal to accept tradition without evidence. The real story of Galileo isn't about a single dramatic moment. It's about the power of questioning, experimenting and transforming the way we see the world. Now it's your turn. What do you think of the Leaning Tower myth? Does it add to Galileo's legacy, or should we focus on the real experiments he conducted? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed exploring the truth behind this iconic story, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Lost Pages of Science, and hit the bell icon. We've got more myths to debunk and amazing truths to uncover, so stay tuned.